Father, again, we thank you for the opportunity to come before you and before your holy written word.
Tās mēs atkal Tev pateicamies par iespēju nākt Tavā priekšā un Tavu rakstītā vārdu
We
priekšā.
thank you for those that are here tonight hearing the word.
Mēs pateicamies par tiem, kas šokar dzird Tavu vārdu.
We are in the book of Revelation.
Mēs esam atklāsmes grāmatā.
In the book of Revelation.
Atklāsmes grāmatā.
A book of revelation.
Atklāsmes
A
grāmatā.
book that'll make you happy
Grāmata, kas padarīs Tev
when
laimīgu,
you read it,
kad Tu to lasīsi,
when you hear it,
kad Tu to
when you
dzirdēsi,
understand it,
kad Tu to
so you
sapratīsi,
can keep it.
lai Tu to vari turēt,
It'll make you happy.
un tas Tev padarīs
And
laimīgu.
we are so happy we're in the 6th chapter.
Un mēs esam tik laimīgi, jo esam jau 6. nodaļā.
Amen.
Amen.
We're in the 6th chapter,
Esam 6. nodaļā.
trying to go to the 7th chapter.
Cenšamies iet 7. nodaļā.
For those of you that were not with us last time,
Tie, kas ar mums pagājušajā reizē
the
nebija.
6th chapter,
6. nodaļa.
Jesus has taken the future out of the hand of God.
Jēzus izņēma nākotni no Dieva rokām.
He has taken the book
Viņš paņēma to grāmatas
scroll
formā, jeb rituļu
that
formā.
is sealed with 7 seals.
Un šis rituls bija apzīmogots ar
And
7
this scroll or
zīmogiem.
this book
Un šis rituls, jeb tā grāmata,
has the last 7 normal years upon the earth.
saturēja pēdējos 7 normālos gadus virs zemes.
After these 7 seals are loosed,
Pēc tam, kad visi šie 7 zīmogi ir
after
attaisīti,
these 7 seals events take place,
kad visu šo 7 zīmogu notikumu ir
the
piepildījušies,
earth will no longer be the same.
zeme nekad vairs nebūs tāda,
Life
kā
will
bija līdz
never
šim.
be the same.
Dzīve nekad nebūs tāda pati,
I
kāda
remember
bija.
sinners used to ask me, when is the end of the world?
Man šatad grēcinieki jautājuši ir, kad būs pasaules
I
gals?
said, you have at least 1,007 years.
Es viņam esmu atbildējis, jums ir vismaz
You
vēl
have at least
1007 gadi.
1,007 years.
Jums vismaz ir vēl 1007
Well, that
gadi.
isn't what other people say.
Tas nav tas, ko
It's
citi
coming in
cilvēki saka.
1988.
Citi saka, ka tas nāks 1999.
88
gadā.
reasons why Jesus is coming in 1988.
99. gada iemesls, kāpēc
Well, this is 2007, 2008. Ooh.
jau ir
2008.
1008.
And Jesus has not come yet.
Un Jēzus vēl nav atnācis.
Should I give you 2008 reasons why Jesus will come in 2008?
Man jāiedod jums 1008 iemesli, kāpēc Jēzum 1008. gadā bija
No,
jāatnāk.
Jesus will come when the
Nē.
Father sends him.
Nē, Jēzus atnāks tad, kad tēvs viņu sūtīs.
But we need to know
Bet mums ir jāzina,
what we need to know
kas mums ir jāzina
about the future
par nākotni,
so we can keep it now.
lai mēs to varam turēt tagad.
The more that you can see what will happen on the earth,
Jo vairāk tu varēsi ieraudzīt, kas notiks virs zemes
the more
nākotnē,
you're going to want to preach the gospel.
jo vairāk tu gribēsi sludināt
The
evaņģēliju,
more you're going to touch somebody with the truth.
jo tu vairāk aizsniegs kādu ar patiesību.
Because no one in their right mind,
Jo neviens savā normālajā
no one in
prātā,
their right state of mind
neviens savā normālajā
would
saprātā
just jump head off into eternity and not know Jesus.
neviens neieliks nākotnē, ja mūžībā nezinot
They
Jēzu.
would not jump off a big building without knowing Jesus.
Viņi nebūtu ar mieru lekt no ēkas lejā un sasisties nezinādam Jēzu.
And for all of you that are listening on the radio, that was a time-lapse recording. There was a moment of hesitation because of the depth of the revelation.
Ir tāds aizkavēšanās brīdis, ja pauze, tāpēc, ka tiek izprasti atklāsmes dziļumi.
Again, 6th chapter, 1st verse.
6. nodaļas 1. pāns.
And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the 7 seals.
Un es ieraudzīju, Jērs atvēra vienu no 7
And
zīmogiem.
I remind you,
Un es jums atgādinu,
he opened one of the 7 seals.
viņš atvēra vienu no 7
He did not
zīmogiem.
open number 1.
Viņš neatvēra pirmo.
He did not say, oh, this is number 1, I'll open this one first.
Viņš neteica, tas ir pirmais zīmogs, un es viņu pirmo arī atvēršu.
The events
Šie notikumi,
when the seal is loosed,
kad zīmogs tiek atvērts,
when what is holding back the future to happen is loosed by that seal being loosed.
tad, kad zīmoga atver, tiek atraisīta tā lieta, kas turēja to
You
notikumu, kas
understand.
notiks.
The future is being held back right now.
Tev jāsaprot, ka nākotne patreiz tiek noturēta,
This little book contains the future.
un šī mazā grāmata, viņa satur
It
nākotni.
is the plan of God.
Tas ir Dieva plāns.
It is the last thing God is going to do upon the face of this earth.
Tā ir pēdējā lieta, ko Dievs darīs virs zemes.
And these seals hold it from happening.
Un šie zīmogi tās lietas vēl attur no
When the
realizācijas.
seals are loosed,
Kad šie zīmogi tiks atvērti,
some event takes place.
kaut kādi notikumi
And
piepildīsies.
what we need to understand,
Un kas mums jāsaprot,
the importance isn't the seals being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
ka nav svarīgi, vai zīmogi ir sanumurēti 1, 2, 3,
The
4, 5,
importance
6.
is that whatever the seal is taken off, an event takes place.
Svarīgākais ir tas notikums, kurš notiks tad, kad zīmogs tiks
We saw Jesus
atvērts.
took off a seal.
Mēs redzējām, ka Jēzus atvēra zīmogu.
From then on, whatever he takes off, of course, would be the second one or the third one or the fourth one because it's the second one he took off.
Jā, viņš uzskaitīja, ka viņš atvēra tur 1, 2, 3, tāpēc, ka tā bija secība, kurā viņš atvēra.
But he's
Nevis
not taking off
zīmogu.
seal number 1 and then he
Nevis-
takes off seal number 2 and then he takes off seal number 3. It's not working like that.
Jā, nevis tas, kad viņš atvērot zīmogu numur 1, zīmogu numur 2, zīmogu numur 3. Viņš atvēra vienkārši.
The seal is taken
zīmogs.
off.
Zīmogs ir atvērts.
This living creature says, "Go forth!"
Un dzīvā būtne saka, nāc,
And immediately something releases.
un tad pēkšņi kaut kas sāk notikt.
First, there's a white horse.
Pirmkārt ir balts zirgs.
This white horse rider is an army person now. He is an army and military person.
Jātnieks uz baltā zirga ir militāra persona.
He has a bow.
Viņam ir loks,
He doesn't have an olive branch.
viņam nav olīvas zars.
How many of you ever seen the seal of America?
Kurš ir redzējis Amerikas ģērbu?
Big bird,
Liels putns,
legs apart.
platas kājas viņam.
In one foot,
Vienā kājā
there's arrows.
ir bultas,
In another foot,
otrā
there's olive branches.
ir olīvas zars.
The head of the eagle is facing the olive branches.
Ērgļa galva skatās uz olīvas
In other
zariem.
words, we desire peace,
Jeb citiem vārdiem tas saka, mēs vēlamies
but we can
mieru,
turn our head and take the arrow if we need to.
bet mēs varam arī pagriezt savu
Can you
galvu uz
understand that?
bultām un paņemt bultas, ka
An
tās ir
arrow
vajadzīgas.
is a symbol of war.
Un bultas ir kara simbols.
Well, so is a bow.
Un tāpat tās ir ar šaujam
He
loku.
is a military person of some sort.
Kas tur šo šaujam loku, tas ir militārs cilvēks.
In every one of these individuals and these scenes, something was given to the individual to do something that he could not do by himself.
Un visās šīs ainās šiem cilvēkiem, ja personām tiek kaut kas iedots, lai viņi varētu
For
realizēt, ko
example,
viņi
the
paši
second
nevarēja
verse.
izdarīt.
And I
Piemēram, otrajā
saw and
pantā.
behold a white horse,
Tad es ieraudzīju, lūk, balts
and the
zirgs,
one that was sitting upon it having a bow.
un uz tās sēž kāds, kam šaujam loks rokā.
He already had a bow,
Viņam jau bija
It was
šaujam
his
loks.
bow.
Tas bija viņa personīgais.
and it was given to him.
Un viņam tika
In
iedots.
other words, who gave it to him?
Kas tad viņam to iedeva?
Well, evidently God gave it to him,
Acīm redzot, Dievs to viņam iedeva.
because God is loosing the seal.
Jo Dievs ir tas, kas atraisa zīmogu.
Until the seal was loosed,
Un kamēr zīmogs vēl nebija
he
atvērts,
never got any victory.
šis cilvēks, ja persona nedabūja
But
nekādu
as soon
uzvaru.
as the seal was loosed,
Bet tiklīdz atvēra zīmogu,
God gives him a victory.
Dievs iedod šai personai
God
uzvaru.
lets him get a military victory.
Dievs ļauj viņam gūt militāru uzvaru.
When that happens,
Kad tas notiek,
a chain of events start to happening.
sākās virkne dažādu notikumu.
You'll see, and Jesus pulls another seal, the
Tu
third verse.
tu redzēsi, jo Jēzus sāk atvērt otro
The
zīmogu.
second
trešajā
living creature
pantā.
says, "Come forth!"
Un tad otrā dzīvā būtne saka, nāc,
And immediately
un
there goes
tūlīt
out
pat
another horse,
tad izjāja cits zirgs,
a red horse.
ugunīgs
And the
sarkans.
one sitting upon it was given to him.
Un tas, kas sēž uz tā, tam tiek dots.
In other words, until the seal was loosed, he was not given any ability to do this.
Un atkal, kamēr zīmogs nebija atraisīts, viņam nekas netika dots.
What did he do?
Bet tad, kad
He
atvēra,
now could take peace out of the earth.
viņam iedeva to, ka viņš varēja atņemt zemē mieru.
What would happen?
Un kas tad notika?
People would start to kill one another,
Cilvēki sāktu nogalināt viens
but not
otru.
just kill each other.
Nevis tikai nogalināt.
The same word is used that is referring to in Jesus is the lamb slain. Slain.
Tas pats vārds šeit ir minēts vietās, kur runā par Jēzu, ka Jēzus tika nogalināts kā
It
upuris.
is a religious term.
Tas ir reliģisks
There
termins.
is a word for kill,
Ir vārds nogalināt,
but kill could mean anything.
bet nogalināt var nozīmēt
Went out in the
jebko.
woods and killed me a deer.
Es biju mežā un nogalināju briedi.
But there's a world of difference if you killed that deer so you could skin it down and sacrifice it on an altar.
Bet liela atšķirība ir tad, kad tu to briedi nogalini, novelc viņam ādu, lai tu viņu varētu upurēt uz
Can you
altāri.
understand that?
Saproti to?
This person
Šī persona
was killing people for religious reasons.
nogalināja cilvēkus reliģisku iemeslu
He
dēļ.
took peace out of the earth.
Viņš tādā veidā atņēma zemē
And
mieru.
that they would slay one another. That is a religious term.
Un te tas reliģiskais termins, ka viņi nogalināja upurēšanas dēļ.
Now notice how it happened.
Un skaties, kā tas notika.
And it was given to him
Un viņiem tika dots
a great dagger.
liels duncis,
And,
nevis
and
sobens,
I've
bet
told you
duncis.
before,
Un es jums esmu jau iepriekš teicis,
there's two Greek words for sword.
ka zobenam ir grieķu valodā
There is the
divi
Greek word
vārdi.
makaira
Viens ir makaira
and the Greek word ramphia.
un ramfaira.
Ramphia is a long battle sword.
Ramfaira ir liels
They're
kaujas zobens.
2 to 3 meters long.
Viņi ir 2 vai 3 metru gari
They carry
zobeni.
them like this over their back.
Viņi nesā viņu šādi uz
And
muguras.
they usually have a long handle on them so that 1 or 2 people can grab it.
Un parasti viņiem ir liels rokturs, lai 1 vai 2 cilvēki pat to varētu
Well,
turēt.
2 meters long, you could stab several people with one sword.
2-metrīgs garš zobens, tu tā var uzdurt vairākus cilvēkus.
But makaira
Bet makaira
is the side sword.
ir tāds sāna
It is
duncis.
a short dagger.
Ir mazs īs duncis.
They could peel potatoes,
Ar to var nomizot kartupeļus.
and someone jumped them on their peeling potatoes, they could fend off their enemies.
Un ja kāds pēkšņi uzlec tanī brīdī, kad viņš mizo kartupeļus, viņš var
It
aizstāvēt.
is a symbol of civil distress.
Tas ir simbols civilam nemieram.
As my wife said, unrest.
Kā mana sieva saka?
Civil
Nemieris,
unrest.
Nemieris, civils nemieris.
In other words, religious group against religious group.
Citiem vārdiem, tur ir reliģiska grupa pret reliģisku
Can you
grupu.
understand what's going on here?
Saprot, kas notiek?
This battle that was won
Šī kauja, kas bija viena, kas tika
started a
uzvarēta.
religious fighting against religious groups.
Tā iesākās tad, kad reliģiskas grupas sāka cīnīties viena ar otru.
And then immediately,
Un tad pēkšņi
another seal was opened.
nākamais zīmogs tiek atvērts.
Notice down here of the 5th verse. And when he opened the 3rd seal,
5. pantā, un kad Jārs atvēra 3. zīmogu,
and I heard the 3rd living creature saying, "Come forth!"
es dzirdēju 3. dzīvo būtni saucam nāc,
And I saw and behold a black horse,
tad es ieraudzīju, lūk, melns zirgs.
and one sitting upon it having a scale in his
Un
hand.
tas, kas sēž uz tā, tur rokā svaru
And
kausu.
again, this is a scale that is used to sell food.
Un atkal jāpaskaidro, ka tas ir svari, kurus lietoja tirgojot
A
pārtiku.
certain person on a white horse gets a military victory.
Kāda persona uz balta zirga gūst militāru uzvaru?
It sets one religious group against another religious group.
Tas izraisa vienas reliģiskas grupas cīņu ar otru reliģisku
And
grupu.
immediately it starts a problem with the economics of this part of the world.
Un tam seko ekonomiska problēma šī pasaules daļā.
And I heard something like a sound of voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures saying,
6. Un es izdzirdēju, it kā balss 4 dzīvo būtņu vidū sakam.
"A measure of wheat for a denarius and 3 measures of barley for a denarius.
Mēru kviešu par denāriju vai 3 mērus miežu par
And the
denāriju.
oil and the wine do not hurt."
Eļļas un vīnu devu nemainiet.
Well, 1 measure of wheat
1 mērs kviešu
and 3 measures of barley
un 3 mēri miežu.
and a denarius
Un par denāriju
would be a total day's wage.
tā bija tajā laikā visas dienas alga.
And those measures are a measure for a meal.
Un šī alga, ja mērs ir vienas maltītes mērs,
So all of the day's wage could buy you 1 meal.
tātad par vienas dienas algu tu varēji nopirkt tikai vienu maltīti.
A military person gets a victory.
Tātad militāra persona gūst uzvaru,
It sets off a religious dispute.
tas izraisa reliģisku nemieru.
They start slaying each other for religious
Viņi
purposes.
sāk viens otru nogalināt reliģisku iemeslu
It
dēļ.
sets off an economic disaster
Tas izraisa ekonomisku krīzi,
where it's hard to buy food.
kur ir grūti nopirkt
It
ēdienu.
takes a whole day's wage to buy 1 meal.
Tas sāk prasīt, ka par vienas dienas algu var nopirkt tikai vienu
And then in
maltīti.
the 8th verse, another seal's loosed.
Un tad tiek atvērts jauns
And I
zīmogs.
saw and behold a green horse.
Un es ieraudzīju, lūk,
And the
8.
one
pantā.
sitting above its name was Death, and Hades or Hell followed along with him.
Balgan zaļš zirgs, un uz tās kāds sēž, un viņa vārds ir nāve un elle.
And authority was given to them.
Un tiem tika dota vara.
Now notice,
Skaties,
he uses the word sword again.
šeit tiek izmantots vārds zobens.
But in this case, he switches to the other word.
Šeit, bet grieķu valodā te ir tas otrs vārds.
First, it's a civil unrest.
Tātad pirmkārt ir civilais nemieris.
It affects the economy.
Tas ietekmē ekonomiku.
Can you understand that?
Saprotat tik tālu?
That disrest affects and starts a war.
Šis nemieris, viņš sāk karu.
Now there's two sides or more killing each other.
Tātad ir divas puses, kur jau sāk nogalināt vienu otru.
And authority was given to them over 1/4 of the earth.
Un šiem diviem Nāvei un Elei tika dota vāra pār 4. zemes daļu.
And notice he did not say 1/4 of the world.
Un ievēro to, ka viņš nesaka 1/4
He
pasaules.
said 1/4 of the earth.
Viņš saka 1/4 daļa no zemes.
Get on the internet.
Un aizēja internetā.
Start calculating the amount it would take to be 1/4 of the earth's ground.
Un pakalkulēt, cik tas ir 1/4 daļa no zemes, no
It's
reāli,
like
no
it's like
teritorijas.
37 million square kilometers.
Tie ir kaut kā 37
37
kvadrātkilometri.
million square kilometers.
37 miljonu kvadrātkilometru.
Europe is nothing.
Eiropa tādā kontekstā ir
Russia
nekas.
is not that.
Krievija arī tas vēl nav.
If you added up all of the Middle East, all of Europe, and all of half of Africa, and all of Russia, and part of America, you still would not come up with that
Ja tu
figure.
paņemtu vidusaustrums, Eiropu, Krieviju, Āfriku un vēl nedaudz no Amerikas, tas arī vēl nebūtu 37 miljoni.
Wherever this unrest started,
Lai kur arī šis nemieris sāktos,
it's eventually going to affect 1/4 of the world.
tas galu galā ietekmēs 4. daļu no
And
zemes
people
teritorijas.
now are dying with a battle sword.
Un tur jau cilvēki sāk mirkt ar, no kaujas
There is a
zobenu.
war going on
Tur jau
now.
sākās riktīgs
It
karš.
starts with a person getting a victory.
Tātad tas viss sākās ar kādu cilvēku, kas gūst uzvaru.
It goes to a civil disrest where one religious group fighting another religious group.
Tas sāk pāriet civilā nemierā, kur reliģiska viena grupa cīnās pret otru
It
reliģisku
starts
grupu.
affecting finances
Tas sāk ietekmēt
or the
finanses,
economy,
jeb ekonomiju.
where it takes you all day long to buy a meal.
Un tas sāk prasīt, ka vienas dienas alga pietiek tikai vienai maltītei.
But now
Bet tagad
there's a
jau
war
ir karš,
and there's no food,
un nav ēdienu,
there's no work.
nav darba.
Can you understand this?
Saproti?
Because notice how he describes this.
Jo skaties, kā šeit tas aprakstās.
Notice what he says.
Skaties,
8th verse.
9.
And I saw and behold a green horse,
pāns. Un es ieraudzīju, lūk, balgan zaļš zirgs.
and the one sitting above it, his name was Death.
Un uz tā kāds sēž, un viņa vārds ir
And
nāve.
hell or Hades was fallen along with him.
Un Elle sekoja viņam.
And authority was given to them over 1/4 of the earth
Un tiem tika dota vara pār 4. zemes
to
teritorijas
kill with a
daļu.
battle sword.
Nokaut ar zobenu, jeb kaujas
That's the Greek
zobenu.
word Ramphia.
Tas ir grieķu vārds
That is a
ramphāja.
military sword.
Un tas ir kaujas, ir militārais zobens.
Now there's a war,
Un šeit jau ir karš.
and with famine,
Un ar bādu,
and with pestilence or disease,
un ar slimībām,
and by the wild beasts of the earth.
un ar zemes zvēriem.
Famine means there is no food.
Bats nozīmē, ka
Can you understand
nav
that?
vispār ēdienu.
In the one picture,
Vienā ainā
all of your day's worth, you could buy one meal.
par savu dienas algu tu var nopirkt tikai vienu maltīti.
But it escalates,
Bet tas paceļās,
and
ir
now
pieaug,
there's a war,
un tagad tur ir karš jau,
and now there is famine,
un tur jau ir bats,
and nobody's eating.
un neviens
Can
neēd.
you see the picture?
Redzi? Kā
Can you
bildīt,
understand
redzi?
that?
Saproti?
So we see what's happening.
Skaties, kas notiek.
Well, death and hell.
Nāve un Elle,
Death and hell isn't talking about saved people dying.
un nāve un Elle nekādā gadījumā nerunā par glābtu
That
cilvēku
should move
nāvi.
you and me.
Tām vajadzētu tevi kustināt,
It is describing sinners dying and going to hell.
jo tas apraksta grēcinieks, kā
Can
viņi
you
mirst un
understand
iet
that?
uz Elle.
If death and hell is killing,
Ja nāve un Elle nogalina,
then that means these people that are dying are going to death and hell.
tad tas nozīmē, ka tie cilvēki visi, kas mirst, iet uz Elle.
Can you understand that?
Saproti to?
No, because the very next verse.
Jo nākamais pants saka,
And when he opened the 5th seal,
un ka viņš atlauza 5.
I
zīmolu,
saw beneath the altar
es ieraudzīju zem
the
altāra
souls of the one having been sacrificially slain
to dvēseles, kas bija nokauti upuru,
for the sake of
veidā.
or because of the word of God
Dievu vārdu dēļ
and because of the testimony that they were holding.
un liecināšanas dēļ.
People were dying and going to hell,
Cilvēki mīra un gāja uz elli,
and people were dying and going to heaven.
un cilvēki bija arī, kas mīra un gāja
And
uz
remember, I
debesīm.
told you, this is a Hebrewism.
Atceries, ka tas ir ebreju termins.
There is no other book in the New Testament with this many Hebrewisms.
Un jaunajā derībā nav citas grāmatas, kurā būtu vairāk ebreju terminu nekā šeit.
In the book of Leviticus and Exodus,
3. un 2. Mūzes grāmatā
God said, this is the way you're going to approach me.
Dievs teica, vot šeit būs veids, kā jūs
And there was
tuvosieties man.
a special altar with 4 horns on it.
Un tur bija īpašs altārs ar 4 stūriem.
If any one of the children of Israel
Yep.
did something wrong,
Ja kāds no Izraēla bērniem izdarīja kaut ko nepareizi,
bring an animal.
viņi atnesa
The
dzīvnieku.
bringer, lay your hands on it.
Tad, tas, kas atnes, pats uzliek savus
Now
rokas uz
that
dzīvnieku
animal will
galvas,
take your place.
tad šis dzīvnieks viņš ieņem tavu vietu.
They killed it.
Viņi nogalina
They
dzīvnieku,
took it in and took its blood
viņš ienesa viņu tur tajā svētnīcā
and sprinkled it on the altar.
un ar asinīm viņi apslaca altāri.
And the rest of the blood
Un pārējās
they
asinis
poured out at the bottom of the altar.
viņi izlēja pie altāra grīdas. Nu, uz
These
altāra grīdas.
religious people who are saved,
Un tie reliģiskie cilvēki, kas ir
they're
glābti,
crying out from under the altar.
viņi sauc no altāra apakšas.
That is a
Un
Hebrewism.
tas ir ebreju termins.
That is a
Ebreju
Hebrewism.
termins, kas
Why are they
saprotams ebrejiem.
crying out from under the altar?
Kāpēc viņi sauc no altāra apakšas?
They were sacrificed.
Tāpēc, ka viņi bija
Can you
upurēti.
see the idea here?
Redzat,
They were being killed because of their beliefs.
Viņi tika nogalināti savas ticības
Other
dēļ.
people were being killed for other reasons.
Citi cilvēki bija nogalināti citu iemeslu
It
dēļ.
started out with a religious kind of dispute.
Lai gan tas sākās ar reliģisku nemieru,
Then it went and escalated and affected the economy.
tas pārgāja ekonomikas problēmās,
Then it started affected where people started a war and now they're killing each other for different reasons.
tas pārgāja beigās karā, un tur cilvēki sāka nogalināt viens otru pat dažādu citu iemeslu dēļ.
Now notice this.
Un skaties tālāk,
In his 10th verse.
10.
We're going
pants.
to finish this today.
Šodien pabeigsim šo.
Amen.
Amen.
And they cried out with a great voice, saying, How long, O sovereign Lord, holy and true,
Viņi sauc skaļā balsī, cik ilgi vēl svētais un patiesais kungs,
will you not judge and avenge our blood on the ones dwelling upon the earth?
cik ilgi tu netiesāsi zemes iedzīvotājus un neatriepsi mūsu
They're
asinis.
crying out for justice.
Viņi sauc pēc taisnīguma.
They're crying out for
Viņi
justice.
sauc pēc taisnīguma.
Now notice what they were given.
Un skaties, kas viņiem tika dots.
Now, I want you to understand something.
Gribu, lai tu kaut ko saproti.
You're actually seeing a scene.
Šeit patiesībā tu redzi ainu.
This is not just some fictitious, this is a literal scene.
Tā ir tāda būtiska aina.
Notice they're killed,
Ievēro,
they go to heaven.
viņi tiek nogalināti.
And in heaven, they
Uz
start to
debesīs.
cry out for justice.
Un
Justice.
debesīs viņi
Avenge us.
sāk saukt taisnību, atriep
Now,
mūs.
notice that they must have just got there.
Un,
They must have just got there. The
Viņi-
people must have just got to heaven.
viņi tikko tur bija nonākuši.
Why?
Kāpēc?
Because notice God gives them something to wear.
Kāpēc? Tāpēc, ka, skaties, Dievs iedod viņiem kaut ko nesāt.
If they'd have been there for a while, they'd already be wearing it.
Ja viņiem tas jau būtu bijis, tad viņi jau to būtu
Are you
nesājuši.
listening to me?
Dzirdi?
Are you listening to me?
Dzirdi?
If they had already been there a while, they would already been given what God was going to give them. Do you think people just walk around heaven naked?
Ja viņi tur ilgi būtu bijuši jau, tad viņiem tās drēbes būtu bijušas jau, bet nebija vēl.
He said, You don't walk around heaven naked.
Tad viņš pa debesīm nestaigā kājās.
You have new clothing when you get to heaven.
Kad tu nonāc debesīs, tev iedod
For
jaunas
the
drēbes.
Christian,
Kristietim,
you get a white garment.
tu dabū baltas drēbes.
But for these people,
Bet šiem cilvēkiem,
they got something different.
viņi dabūja kaut ko citu.
I told you there are 7 declarations to the Christian.
Es jums teicu, ka ir tāds 7 apgalvojumi
He that
kristiešiem.
keeps on overcoming,
Tas, kas turpina uzvarēt,
you will sit down with me.
tu sēdēsi ar manīm,
You will be a permanent fixture in my tabernacle in heaven.
tu būsi stabili nostiprināts manā
You will get your
Debes-
crown.
templī. Tev būs kronis.
You will get a white garment.
Tev tiks dots balts apģērbs.
Now look at there's a difference here.
Un šeit ir savādāk.
These
nedaudz.
people
Šiem cilvēkiem
Are given a white robe.
tika dots balts tērps.
In the Old Testament,
Un vecajā derībā
a white robe or any robe was a stereotype of a religious person.
Tērps kā tāds bija talārs. Nu, šeit ir tērps, jeb talārs. Viņš bija reliģisks personas tāds, nu, atpazīstams
This
simbols.
robe
Un šis tērps ir
is a
talārs.
religious symbol.
Tas ir reliģisks simbols.
And there's something different about it.
Un tur ir kaut kas atšķirīgs. par to
Because
visu.
these people are given to them a robe, but Christians are never promised a robe.
Jo šiem cilvēkiem tika
Are you listening
iedots
to me?
talārs, bet kristiešiem nekad
Go
netika
through the first
apsolīts
chapter,
talārs.
go through the second chapter,
Aizies
go through
pirmo,
the third
otro,
chapter.
trešo nodaļu.
And you'll never see God promising any Christian a robe.
Un tu nekur neredzēsi, ka Dievs būtu apsolījis
He
kristietim
promises you
talāru.
a garment.
Viņš apsolīja baltas
But the
drānas,
robe is specific.
bet šīs tērps, jeb talārs, ir
Priests
specifisks.
wore robes.
Nu,
Priest in
No.
the Old Testament wore robes.
vecajā derībā priesteri nēsāja šo tērpu
It
pie
was a
talāra.
specific garment.
Un tas bija specifisks
So this
apģērbs.
is a specific garment for specific people.
Tāpēc šis ir specifisks apģērbs specifiskiem
You want
cilvēkiem.
to know who they are?
Un vai tu gribi zināt, kas viņi ir tādi?
Do you want to know who they are?
Gribi zināt, kas viņi ir
Go over
tādi?
here to the 7th chapter for a minute.
Tad aizējām uz 7. nodaļu.
Notice who they are.
Skatīsimies, kas tie ir.
And it also tells you why they're dying.
Un tur arī būs pateikts, kāpēc viņi mīra.
Notice again, this is Revelation in the 7th chapter.
Tā ir atklāsmes grāmatas 7. nodaļa.
This is the 9th verse. 9th verse.
9. pāns.
After these things I saw and behold a large crowd,
Pēc tam es ieraudzīju, lūk, liels pūlis,
which no one was able to number it,
ka nesaskaitīt
out of every nation,
no visām tautām un
tribes,
ciltīm
peoples,
un ļaužu grupām
tongues,
un valodām,
standing before the throne
kas baltos tērpos
and before the Lamb of God.
un palmu zariem rokās stāv
Now,
goda
notice
krēsla
what they're
un ģērbti
wearing.
priekšā. Un skaties, ko tad viņi tur nesā.
Notice what they're wearing.
Skaties, ko viņi
Before the
nesā.
Lamb, having been clothed with white robes.
Kas baltos tērpos, viņi baltos tērpos, jeb
Remember, the
talāros.
book of Revelation
Atceries, ka atklāsmes
is
grāmata
a book of
ir
symbols.
simbolu grāmata.
If it was the book of Romans or Acts, it probably wouldn't mean anything.
Ja tā būtu apstuļu darba grāmata vai bromiešu grāmata, tas neko
But he
nenozīmē.
said, I will speak to you by symbols.
Bet viņš teica, ka es ar jums runāšu caur simboliem.
Then the symbols must mean something.
Tātad simbolam kaut ko ir jānozīmē.
And he sees this group of people,
Viņš redz šo cilvēku
a
grupu
large group of people,
un lielu cilvēku
from
grupu
every nation, every tongue, every language.
no visām tautām, valodām,
And they
grupām.
had on white robes.
Un viņiem mugurā ir balti tērpi, jeb talāri.
And this thing says,
Un šī lieta saka,
it says,
viņa saka,
notice this down here, the
skaties,
13th verse.
13.
And
pantā.
one of the elders answered,
Tad viens no vecajiem sacīja,
saying to me,
sacīdams man,
these,
šie,
the ones in the white robes,
tie, kas ir baltos tērpos,
these, the ones having been clothed with white robes,
tie, kas ir baltos tērpos,
these, the ones having been clothed with white robes,
tie, kas ir baltos tērpos,
who are they?
kas viņi ir tādi
And where do they come from?
un no kurienes viņi nākuši.
And I uttered to him, Lord, you really know.
Un es teicu, mans kungs, tu patiešām zini.
And he said to me, these,
Un tad viņš man
they
sacīja,
are the ones
šie
coming out of the great tribulation.
ir tie, kas nāk no lielām bēdām.
Notice what they did.
Un skaties, ko viņi darīja.
They washed their robes.
Viņi ir mazgājuši savus
They
tērpus.
washed their robes.
Mazgājuši savus
They
tērpus.
washed their robes.
Mazgājuši savus
In other
tērpus.
words, they were religious people
Jeb citiem vārdiem viņi bija reliģiski
who got
cilvēki,
saved
kuri tika
and
izglābti
came to Jesus
un atnāca pie
from all
Jēzus
over the world.
no visas pasaules.
There will be religious people in the tribulation.
Bēdu laikos būs reliģiski
Are you listening to
cilvēki.
me? There
Saprotat?
will be religious people in the tribulation.
Bēdu laikos būs reliģiski
There's
cilvēki.
religious people in the earth right now.
Reliģiski cilvēki arī tagad ir uz zemes.
But they will come to the Lord in the tribulation.
Bet viņi pie tā kunga atnāks bēdu
And
laikā.
specifically speaking,
Un specifiski runājot,
the last 3.5 years,
tas notiks pēdējos 3,5 gados.
the great tribulation,
Lielais
is the
bēdu laiks.
last half.
Lielais bēdu
It's
laiks.
the
Tā ir
last half.
otrā 7 gadu puse.
The tribulation is 7 years.
Vispār bēdu laiks ir 7
There's
gadi.
a 3.5 year mark.
Ir 3,5 gadu tāda
Then another
robeža.
3.5
Tad
years.
atkal 3,5 gadi.
This is the last 3.5 years.
Un šie ir tie pēdējie 3,5
Can you
gadi.
understand that?
Saprotat?
These people
Šie cilvēki
are dying
mirst
in the last half of the tribulation.
pēdējā bēdu laika pusē.
So, if you go back into the 6th chapter,
Un tad, ja atgriežamies 6.
then
nodaļā,
you will see
tu ieraudzīsi
something about the scene.
kaut ko par šo ainu.
These people are dying.
Šie cilvēki mirst.
The picture then is the latter half of the tribulation.
Šī aina ir par bēdu laiku pēdējo daļu.
Then notice the 6th seal.
Un skaties, 6. zīmoks.
And this is mentioned throughout the Bible.
Un tas tiek pieminēts viscaur Bībelē.
And I saw when he opened the sixth seal,
12. pāns. Kad viņš
and
atlauza
there
6.
happened a great
zīmolu,
earthquake,
es ieraudzīju,
and the
zeme
sun
sāk
became
trīcēt.
black as a sackcloth of hair,
Saule top melna kā saru maiss,
and the whole moon became as blood.
un viss mēnesis kā asinis.
Well, that's talking about the day before Armageddon.
Šeit tiek runāts par dienu pirms Armagedonas
Joel
kaujas.
said,
Joēls
go
teica,
real quick with me to the book of Acts, quickly.
aizējām ātri uz apstuļu darbu grāmatu.
Acts in the 2nd chapter.
Apstuļu darbu 6. nodaļa.
Notice what the prophet Joel said.
Skaties, ko pravietis Joēls teica.
Joel in the second, notice this is Acts 2.
Apstuļu darbu 2. nodaļa.
Are you with me?
Esat?
Are you listening?
Vai jūs
Are
sakojat?
you with me?
Dzirdat?
Notice
Sakojat?
this is Acts 2.
Apstuļu darbu 2. nodaļa.
And it came to pass in the last days, and it shall come to pass in the last days.
Which verse?
17 patsmentais.
17. pāns.
It shall come to pass in the last days.
Tas notiks pēdējās dienās.
Well, he's quoting Joel.
Un šeit viņš citē Joēlu
Now
grāmatu.
look it down here in the 20th verse.
20. pantā vēl ir teikts.
And the sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon shall be turned into blood,
Saule pārvērtīsies tumsā un mēnesis asinīs.
before the great and notable day of the Lord come.
Pirms nāks tā kunga lielā un spožā
Do you
diena.
notice that?
Ieraudzīji?
This is a sign
Tā ir zīme
at the end of the tribulation,
bēdu laiku beigās.
right before Jesus comes back
Tieši pirms tā, kā Jēzus nāks
for the
atpakaļ,
battle of Armageddon.
lai cīnītos Armagedonas
Now,
kaujā.
what does that mean?
Ko tas nozīmē?
He's making big jumps.
Viņš tādus lielus
Are
lēcienus
you listening
taisa.
to me?
Redzi?
You see, you're only getting from the beginning of it
Šeit tu no paša sākuma bēdu
what
laikiem,
happens in the first 3 years,
tad tu redzi, kas pirmos 3
a
gadus
point
notiek.
in the last 3.5 years.
Tad ir tāds punkts pēdējos
And the
3,5
end.
gados un pašās beigās.
Are you listening to me?
Tāda
And
leciena.
you see, he's not telling you everything about the 7 years in the 6th chapter.
Viņš nesaka par visu, kas notiks bēdu laikos 7. nodaļā. Viņš
This is a clue.
šeit ir tāda atslēga.
He's giving you the high points.
Viņš tev iedod tāds svarīgākos
He's
punktus.
giving you high points of the 7-year tribulation.
Viņš iedod tos pašus svarīgākos punktus bēdu,
Now,
7 bēdu laikos.
The good thing
Un labā lieta ir,
is that the rest of the book of Revelation
ka pārējā atklāsums grāmata
is filling in the everything else.
Aizpilda visus tos
Are you listening to me?
caurumiņus, kas ir
Because
starp
what
tiem
does he
lieliem
talk about
lecieniem.
here? He talks about a war,
Šeit viņš runā par karu,
a person,
par personu,
things that happen
lietas, kas
in
notiek
relationship to this person and religious dispute.
attiecībā uz šo reliģisko, uz cilvēku un
The
uz to
economy.
reliģisko nemieru. Runā par
Are
ekonomiku.
you listening to me? He talks about people dying.
Viņš runā par to, ka cilvēki
He
mīl.
talks about things like that. And now he talks about the coming of the Lord.
Un tagad viņš sāk runāt par tā kunga atnākšanu.
Well, you can see that in the 19th chapter.
Un to tu vari ieraudzīt 19.
Are you listening?
nodaļā.
The rest of the book of Revelation is fitting in pieces in the middle of the first 6th chapter, the first big pieces.
Tātad visa pārējā atklāsmes grāmatas daļa, kas ir pēc 6. nodaļa, viņa aizpildīs tos caurumiņus, kas ir starp
Can you understand
tiem
what I'm saying?
augstajiem punktiem, kas ir izteikti 6.
When you start
līdz
looking at the
6.
rest
nodaļā.
of the book of Revelation,
Ja tu skatīsies tālāk pēc 6. nodaļas
you've got to go
atklāsmes grāmatā,
back and find, is there a piece? Where does this go?
tev būs jāatgriežas apkaļņās, var kurā vietiņā tas liekas.
Now notice
iekšā.
this statement.
Skaties.
And I saw when he opened the 6th seal, and there happened a great earthquake.
Which person were?
12.
6.12. Kad viņš atlausa 6. zīmogu, es ieraudzīju, zeme sāk trīcēt.
And the sun became black as a sackcloth,
Saule top melna kā asaru
and the whole
maiss,
moon became
kā
as blood.
sarmais, un viss mēnesis kā asins.
Joel said that would happen before the great day of Jesus' return at the end of the tribulation.
Joels to teica, ka tas notiks tā kunga atnākšanas dienā, tieši bēdu laiku beigās.
So we've started at the first of the tribulation.
Tātad mēs sākām no bēdu laika paša sākuma,
We've gone to the middle.
tad mēs nonācām vidū,
We've gone to almost it completed
tad mēs nonācām gandrīz līdz
to
beigām,
the end of it.
un tad nonācām uz
He's
pašām
taking
beigām.
big chunks.
Viņš tādus liels lēcienus
And then he
taisa.
goes on to say here,
Un tad viņš sāk
and the
teikt,
stars of heaven fell to the earth.
un zvaigznes no debesīm krita uz
And as
zemes,
the tree cast its unripened figs were shaken by a great wind.
kā nobirst tvīķis no koka stiprā vējā.
And the heaven was split away like a scroll and rolled up.
Un debesis savēlās kā raksturūlis un
And every
pazuda.
mountain and island were shaken out of their places.
Un visi kalni un salas izkustējās no savām vietām.
Well, that means the whole earth
Un tas nozīmē, ka visa zeme
was coming apart. It was coming apart, shaken apart.
viņa sāka izjukt.
Are you listening to me?
Sāka, nu,
Now notice the 16th
trīcēt un
verse.
izjukt. Un 16.
And they
pantu.
say to the mountains and the rocks,
Un viņi sauca uz kalniem un
fall on
klintīm.
us
Krītiet pār
and
mums
hide us from the face of the one sitting upon the throne
un apslēpiet mūs no tā vaiga, kas sēž uz
and from
troņa
the wrath of the Lamb.
un no jēra dusmām.
Notice, because
Jo
the great day of their wrath is come.
par viņiem ir nākusi lielā dusmu
The
diena.
great day of their wrath is come.
Par viņiem ir nākusi lielā dusmu diena.
Can you understand what is happening here?
Saprot, kas tur notiek?
He starts out with this person with a bow.
Viņš sāk ar to personu, kam bija loks
It
rokās,
initiates the beginning of the tribulation.
un tas iesāka bēdu laiku sākumu.
He ends up with the sun and the moon changing colors
Un tas beidzās ar to, ka saule un mēnesis maina
and the
krāsu,
great day of the Lord coming.
un tā lielā kunga diena
That
nāk,
ends the
un
tribulation.
tas beidz bēdu laikus.
That is an overview.
Tas ir tāds pārskats.
Now, as soon as you go through 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19,
Tālāk, kad mēs iesim 7, 8, 9, 10 līdz pat 19 nodaļai,
it fills in all of the details.
tas dos mums pārējās detaļas.
Are you listening
tam
to
visam,
me?
kas šeit ir
It'll
noticis.
fill in the details.
Tas piepildīs detaļās.
Now
visu.
we got a carcass.
Tātad mums tagad ir skelets.
We have a carcass.
Mums ir skelets.
The beginning of the tribulation.
Bēdu laika sākums.
How do we know, Brother Ed?
Kā mēs, brāl, Ed,
How
varam
do we
zināt,
know that this man on the white horse is the beginning of the tribulation?
kad šis cilvēks uz baltā zirga ir bēdu laikus
I'm
iesācējis?
glad you asked.
Prieks, ka tu to pajautāji.
I want you to notice something.
Gribu, lai tu to uzzini.
Notice this statement.
Skaties.
Notice this is in 2 Thessalonians.
2. Tesaloņķiešiem.
Notice again, this is the 7th verse of the 2nd chapter.
2. nodaļa, 7. pāns.
For the mystery of iniquity does already work.
Jo.
For the mystery of iniquity already works.
Jo-
2nd chapter, 7th verse, 2 Thessalonians.
Jo netaisnības noslēpumainais spēks jau ir darbā.
For the mystery of iniquity already works.
Jo netaisnības noslēpumainais spēks jau ir darbā, jeb
Only
strādā.
he now who restrains
Tikai tas, kas to līdz šim kavē, jeb attur,
until he be taken out of the way,
ir pa priekš tam ir jāpazūd.
then the wicked one shall be revealed.
Kad tas pazudīs, tikai tad netaisnais parādīsies atklāti.
The restrainer
Šīs kavēklis,
taken out of the way,
kurš tiks izņemts no ceļa,
then whatever restrains the wicked one is no more longer restraining him.
Šis kavēklis, kurš kavē to ļauno, viņš vairāk nekavēs viņu tajā brīdī, kad viņš tiks izņemts ārā.
Now, when will the Lord destroy the Antichrist?
Un kad tad kungs Jēzus
Notice
iznīcinās
again.
Antikristu?
And then shall the wicked one be revealed,
8. pāns. Tikai tad netaisnais parādīsies atklāti,
whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming.
un kungs Jēzus iznīcinās viņu ar savas mutes elpu un izdeldēs viņu, kad pats atnāk uz godībā.
This is not talking about the coming for the church.
Šeit nerunā par kunga atnākšanu pēc
This is the
draudzes.
coming of the Lord to destroy the Antichrist at the end of the tribulation.
Šeit runā par tā kunga atnākšanu, lai iznīcinātu Antikristu bēdu laiku
Now
pašās
notice,
beigās.
who sends him?
Skaties, kas tad viņu šeit
Look at the
sūta?
11th verse.
11. pāntu. skaties.
And
Tāpēc
for this reason,
Dievs tagad sūta.
and for this reason,
um,
God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie.
Tāpēc Dievs tagad sūta tiem maldu varu, kad tie sāk ticēt meliem.
Antichrist,
Antikrists,
the wicked one,
ļaunais,
is waiting to go,
gaida, kad varētu iet,
but something is restraining him.
bet kaut kas viņu attur
The
bremzēs.
restrainer's taken out of the road.
Tagad šis atturēt, jo
The
kāpēc tiek
Bible
izņemts ārā?
says
Bībele saka,
God sent him.
ka Dievs viņu izsūta.
Why do you think there's seals on the scroll?
Kā tev liekas, kāpēc ir zīmogi uz
The
rituļa?
seals stop the Antichrist right now from doing anything.
Rituļi tagad attur Antikristu, ka viņš nevar neko darīt.
Jesus
Jēzus
pulls the seal,
Jēzus sāk atvērt zīmogus.
and immediately
un
But
momentāli
remember what I said
sāk notikt kaut kas.
in
Un
the
atceries, ko es
previous
tev teicu?
chapter, right before Jesus pulls the seal?
Iepriekšējā nodaļā tieši pirms Jēzus norauza
And
zīmolu.
it looked, and there was a lamb
Un viņš skatījās un bija jērs,
having 7 horns and 7 eyes.
kuram bija 7 ragi un 7 acis.
And there's very special grammar right there,
Un tur ir īpaša gramatika,
describing an event that was completed,
kas aprakstīja notikumu, kurš piepildās.
having been sent into all the earth and now is back.
Kurš tika izsūtīts pa visu pasauli un ir atgriezies atpakaļ.
An event took place.
Un tad kaut kāds notikums
The overcoming Jesus now can open the book.
notiek, un tad atnāk Jēzus, lai atvērtu grāmatu.
Are you listening to me?
Vai jūs dzirdat mani?